Hey guys, where I am now has absolutely nothing to do with today's video. I came out here to look out for a location for my next short film, and I decided to make this video and talk about it because it's been a long time and it's very important, especially for us, the beginner filmmakers, yes, the independent filmmakers. It's about filmmaking. Okay, this tip is going to help. It's going to change a lot about your production this year. So that's why I want to use it to start up this year. And by the way, this is the first video and this is the first time we are seeing each other. So happy new year. It's February, I guess, but better late than never. So happy new year, and I welcome you guys to my channel. Today we're talking about Hollywood techniques. Yes, those professional filmmaking tips and techniques that you must apply, and why you should avoid them as a beginner filmmaker. So flies everywhere. Okay, yes, I admit every one of us do wish to implement some, if not all, Hollywood and the industry standard techniques in our in the beginning stage of our career. Okay, and of course it turns out great sometimes, but a lot of the challenges and the slowing down that we are facing is because we actually try to implement those things. Okay, stuff like first things first, getting a good story and script for your film. Yes, it's good to have an industry standard script, but why? That's the question we have to start asking, because nobody cares about your production. All for now that we have to present is the output. Yes, it's the final result of your production. So yes, getting a final draft software is good, you understand. I'm not saying it's bad, but you have a final draft and you have your script well formatted, and the time you're taking to do that, the time you're taking to actually learn how to format script, if you use that time to put it into other parts of the production, like going for location and just getting more stories and shooting and getting better, you see, it saves you a whole lot of things. So final draft is the industry standard software. Of course, if you need it, I'll drop the link in the description so you can get it for yourself and go through it if you haven't, and then it will help you and in formatting your scripts. Okay, so you can actually just write out something. In fact, most times it's not necessary that you write. Yes, it's not, especially if you are a complete beginner, I'll suggest, because writing those scripts and going out to shoot it yourself, you'll still mess it up. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to demotivate you or something, but you'll still shoot something that is not very pleasant and not exactly as you thought it would be. So I think keep it simple, okay, so that even if you shoot it and it's not up to your expectation, you can as well shoot another one instead of spending that whole lot of time trying to get your script right, and then at the end of it you lose. And then secondly, as maybe other steps, proceeding to storyboard is good. Yeah, storyboard is where you have something like a drawing board where you have your shots and your scenes drawn out. You have them in a picture form that you can actually look at it and picture, okay, this is how this film will look like. So when the characters are on set, you can as well arrange your sets and place them and do your blocking immediately to look exactly what you've planned beforehand. Now this is good, but why Hollywood do all those things and then other big industries do it and it's working out for them is because there are a whole lot of crew, there are a whole lot of crew members, there are a whole lot of people working out, and they do it actually to make the work easier for them, and they do it to work faster because they have many people handling different things. So if the things are being placed beforehand, if those things are being ordered beforehand, you see that everybody will just work together and then they will achieve what they want to achieve easily. But you, on the hand, trying to do that, trying to get a good script and a short list now and a storyboard, so of course you can use Studio Binder for your storyboarding if that's what you really want, or if you have somebody that can do that for you. But if you don't, I suggest you skip that. And then moving over to the next one, which is very important in the industry, which is called shortlist. Okay, you can use shortlister. Those things are the softwares you can use in making them. So shortlister will help you have a shortlist. So what I'm saying in essence is shortlist is good. Yes, it's good for when you have a large number of crew, but if you are doing it alone, don't spend those times trying to get those things right, because like I said earlier, if you're a beginner, if this is your first or second film that you are backing on, chances are it won't come out 100% to yourself. But good luck. I wish you good luck. But I suggest you keep those things simple and minimize the time you spend on that first film, and use it in planning your next films, which of course it will get better. Each time you make the films, you will get better with it. So shortlist, you can let go for now. So you might be thinking I'm scraping off everything. I'm not. I will still come back to that. Okay, now the next thing is actually getting your characters. If you are a beginner filmmaker, if you are an independent and beginner, I suggest you keep your film minimum. Keep it with a few characters. Okay, the lowest number you can get, the better. So I suggest starting off, if you have a story of 10 characters, 15 characters, I suggest you just leave them for now, okay, and then get a story of 1 or 2 characters. Yes, 1 or at most 2. If possibly you can get a story about 1 character, good for you to start off, because now you have just 1 person to take care of. You have everything, won't be cumbersome for you. You don't have to worry about a large number. It can just be you and the person. Then you can take your creative shots and do everything you want to do to make out your film come out well. And then you would even have to unlock the potentials, your creative potentials, because you just have 1 person there and most times no dialogue. So you have to do everything possible, implement some things you've learned in making your film interesting and worth watching. Okay, so minimize it, just get a 1 or 2 characters and then you're good to go. And then talking about equipment, of course, if you're starting up, you're not having much equipment. When I made my first short film, I made it with this camera, yes, that I'm filming now, which is actually wonderful. It's Canon M50. I made it with a kit lens, okay, because I didn't have money to rent, and I purposely wanted to work strictly with what I have. So at that time, I had Canon M50 and DJI Mavic Mini drone. Okay, so I actually filmed outside. Yes, I didn't have any although I had lights then, but I didn't want to worry about those lights setup and all of that, because of course it will slow me down, and I'm not expecting 100% result in my first attempt of making a film. So I shot everything outside. I control, because you don't have to worry about all those both negative field and reflectors and bounce balls and all of that. You can just wait, because why they do all those things is because since they are working with large number of crews and large number of characters on set, you don't have to wait. Okay, the sun is out, so we have to wait for it to go down before we shoot. They are shooting all day, so if we have steady sunlight, they have things to control it. Okay, so you're bothering about getting those things, why not use the things you have? Then you can wait. Since you are 2 or 3 persons there, you can wait. If the sun is too harsh, you can wait for some minutes and it will calm down. You continue your filming. Yeah, so I strictly suggest you start trying now. Why I'm saying all these things, so that this year won't be full of limitations for us. I've been there. Okay, I'm still there, trying to motivate myself, trying to forget all these things. But talking about the actual filmmaking, I highly suggest you let those things go for now, and then you start bringing them in when you have at least more crew members. Yes, more people working together with you to achieve a project. Yes, you can now bring it so that you can help everybody know what he or she should be doing. But since it's only you, if you are just working alone or with just 1 person and 2 of you are starting up, I suggest you just let all those things go. Yes, and just focus on actually filming and focus on your story, working on your story, because every other thing, the actual sense is shooting it's not about how you shoot it. Yes, it's not about how you shoot it, it's about telling your story. It's about working on a good story that people can be engaged in. For now that you're starting up, then when you advance, you now focus on the techniques and the camera techniques and the editing techniques and all of that. So with that being said, minimize your equipment. If you have all those things, you can take them. But take, for instance, you have a light and you have a reflector and you have a negative field, you have a bounce board, and you took that to a set with just 1 character, and you still with the camera, handling the camera out, you still have a gimbal. So you now have difficulty trying to keep those things. Where am I keeping this? Where am I keeping the lights? Where am I keeping the bounce board? Where am I keeping the negative feel and all of that? Before you do that, you see that you lose a whole lot of time that you would have used to shoot even 2 different movies, of course, that you can use in practicing. Because the simple truth is, if you're in your house trying to learn filmmaking, you're wrong. I'm not saying watching YouTube all day, but finish this video. I'm not saying watching YouTube all day cannot get you into the field, because you can sit in your room and watch videos and buy courses online and learn for 1 month, and when you actually go into the field, you see that things are not exactly as it seems. Of course, learning helps, but I suggest in filmmaking is a hands-on approach to me. So the more you shoot, the more you get better. If you shoot 10 videos, of course the first one is going to be worse than the third one is going to be better than the second, and so on and on. And so I feel by the time you get to your 10th and you watch your first video and your 10th video, you see a big difference just because you've been practicing. So how do you practice? Is just by limiting those things that will be slowing down, because you can be working on a script for over a month. Those industry that you're looking at, that all of us are aiming at, some write script a year, 2 years, because they have the money, they have the people, they have the resources to do that. Okay, so if you're trying to imitate them that to get a script right, what if after getting all those things and at the end it didn't turn out great because you don't have much professional looking, so you're just trying to balance things. You have many things to think about. You're thinking about your light setup, you're thinking about camera angle, you're thinking about directing, you're focusing on your character, you're focusing on many things. You're the one editing, you're the one coloring, you're the one doing the sound design and all of that. So when you now think about all of these things, you see it's not easy. So keep it simple, and I would like you to channel your energy more on the things that matters. Okay, the things that matter, which is actually telling a story. And talking about a bit off topic, for the record here, I've shot a film here. Yes, debate, my very first short film. I shot some scenes in this particular location, and of course, if you've not seen the film, I'm not promising you that I made the film last year. Okay, so it's not the best thing you're going to see, but if you're trying to get motivated, see, that was my very first short, and the link is in the description, and you can also watch it up there. Okay, so this place, and this is actually in Nigeria, and it's kind of far from my place, and it's kind of abandoned and weird. People don't come here much, and I'm a little bit scared because I'm here all alone. Because most times, you know, if you're starting something and you ask people to come and join you, to come and help you film, because the things are not that serious. They will not take you serious when you're starting up, of course, until they start to see things change and they start to see that you are actually making progress in that thing. That's when they start taking you serious. So I'm out here all alone, and I'm kind of worried because of course my camera, and that's all I got. So back to what we were saying. It's that simple. I remember why we started all this is if you're starting film, especially without budget, it should be based on passion. Yes, it should be based on passion, because the few couple of things you're going to shoot won't be fetching you that amount of money for you to keep going. So since it's for passion, I suggest you keep your budget as low as possible so that you don't get frustrated out of the business. Okay, so that's the only way to keep this thing simple and to keep yourself going, so you get to that place, to the point that you are actually aiming at. And then lastly, talking about because I think we just mentioned the pre-production and the actual shooting. Then in post-production, we're talking about the editing now. I suggest, how many times have I said I suggest in this video? I'm only suggesting. Okay, I must say, well, yes, I'm not telling you, so I'm still suggesting. It's your life. Yes, so I still suggest you master your editing more. If you're focusing on anything more, it should be on editing, because you can actually heal many wounds, yes, that you had during shooting with editing. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, because you have some people who just shout, we'll fix that in post, we'll fix that in post, when you're making big errors or uncorrectable errors on set. You're now shouting, we'll fix that in post, we'll fix that. Know what you can actually fix in post and what you can actually fix. If you don't know how to do your color correction, try to get at least a decent image while shooting. Don't claim what you don't have. Don't pull off a green screen if you don't know how to do it. Don't include most of visual effects in your film if you can't actually pull it off. Okay, so stick to what you have at a time. If you have an explosion in your film and you don't actually know how to make an explosion during editing, just skip it. Don't show the explosion. Maybe you can just focus on what is happening on your talent. If your talent is going to be looking at the explosion, just throw on some flashlight on his face too, and then add some explosion sounds, so that actually the film, nobody would notice, nobody would judge you if the explosion was good or not. So it's better you don't show it at all than showing something that is not well done. Okay, so work on your editing skill. And if you're starting off, I will suggest, when I started, I didn't start with a professional editing software immediately, and of course it affected me, but not badly though, because I was able to switch in easily because I used that software. Of course, I'm not going to mention the name. I used the software for some years before actually switching to what I use now. And of course, it's not a Resolve. I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay, we are the Premiere here. We are the Premiere. Of course, I'm not trying to sell off Premiere because they are not sponsoring me. They don't even know me. But it's a decent software if you're trying to get familiar with things. Yes, if you're trying to do create some professional videos. Yes, if you have a future in film business, I will recommend the software for you. Yes, so you can get I'm thirsty now. I should have come here with water or something. Okay, so you can get your Premiere, improve, learn it to the best of your knowledge, and keep on learning, because the more you learn, the more you're going to be shooting more comfortably, because now you know what is possible and what is not possible. Well, and then I think that's all. And this is actually not a tutorial kind of video. It's just a suggestion kind of video, because of course I said suggestion a whole lot of time. Yes, so it's a suggestion kind of video. I've been making suggestions, and I think and I've said more than I should in this video, but pardon me. So this is not the tutorial kind of video, is suggestion kind, like I said. And in the couple of videos I will be making, we'll be looking at these tips and how to actually make these things work out. It's not going to be just suggestion now. We're going to be looking at it more. We're going to be looking at it more in depthly. Okay, how we can actually achieve this very simple. Because as I just said it now, like I said, it might sound simple, but it's not that simple. Then it might even sound complex, and yet it's not that complex. So we're breaking these things down. If you have a question or a suggestion, you can leave them in the comment box, okay, so that we can interact. I want to know how you feel about the video. Yes, and of course, thank you. And if you want to see this face again, you can subscribe to my channel. I'm not promising you the best. I'm still trying to find my way in the industry, and I believe we all can do this together if we become friends. So click that subscribe button for me, and like this video and share with your friends. And I'm out here to make new friends. So thank you very much. I'm going to look around this environment and see if I can see something fantastic that can actually work with on the next project, which will be coming up very soon, or then depending on, maybe very, very soon, or just soon. Yes, I will still know depending on how things goes. So because I've said much already, let me just look around. If you care to see how this environment looks, you can still hold on to the video. If not, I'll see you in the next video, but maybe I have something to show you. Wait. So talking about the Canon M50, it's actually a decent camera for the price. Yes, it's a good entry-level camera if you're starting off your career, and of course it have a wonderful feature. One of my favorite is actually the flip screen. Yes, so for vloggers, so just like I'm doing now, you can flip it so that you look at yourself and know how the video is looking. Just rather than trying to go and look at the back to see yourself, then bringing it back in again. So it's good, and of course it shoots 4K and it works decent with low light as well. So it's a very nice camera to start up with. I'll recommend it. Of course, the link will be in the description if you're interested. Maybe if you're trying to get your first camera and you don't know what to go with. So this, I will recommend Canon M50 for you. I've worked on things with it and I suggest it. I will recommend it for you. Why am I saying suggestion?